Hey y'all, what's up? It's Coach Hyde in the dark. Hope you're not afraid of the dark, right? Used to be a good TV show back in the day when I was a kid. Came on Nickelodeon. Are you afraid of the dark? I was. It scared me a little bit. Anyway, so this video right here, we're looking at the differences between plant cells and animal cells. Both of these cells, is that too high? Yeah, drop to the side. Both of these cells, are eukaryotic, both plants and animals. All right, very, very similar. All right, very similar. Um, they have what we'll call the endomembrane system. Right. So, sorry that writing is terrible. Endomembrane system. Been writing a lot today. So I guess I'll stay back here. I'm in the light. Look at there. But what this endomembrane system is essentially, what you got here. All right. So, with the exception of the Golgi, okay, this is the Golgi. All of these pieces around this nucleus are connected by one membrane, a continuous membrane, which is you got the rough ER, you got the smooth ER, you got the nucleus, you got some ribosomes in there, and then separated, so there's a gap here. The Golgi is pretty much a part of the endomembrane system too. Um, so this whole process of taking DNA, converting it to or making proteins, making lipids, making fats, making cholesterol, whatever, and then shipping it to where it needs to go is this endomembrane system. And both of these plant and animals, eukaryotic cells, can do this, right? Eukaryotic cells start with an E, have the endomembrane system. So all of that's going to be the same, right? The differences kind of lie elsewhere in the cells. First big difference that I would always remember was plants have a cell wall, animals no cell wall, right? Now, inside the cell wall, where that black line is the membrane. So both cells have a plasma membrane. All cells have a plasma membrane. But plants have a little extra something going on out there with the cell wall, right? If you think about it, plant cells are more exposed to the conditions of the environment and stuff versus animal cells, which are inside the body and a little more protected. So they need a little more protection out here in the cell wall. Another thing plants do is, well, most of them do not eat, so they need to get sugar from somewhere. Um, I can't really tell. I think it's these. It's kind of blurry, but these. Oh yeah, I was right. Chloroplasts, right? So chloroplasts make sun to sugar. Chloroplasts are not in animal cells. Right. Finally, the big key identifying feature about a plant cell that is not in animal cells is this giant vacuole in here. Right, vacuole is like a storage sac. Right, it's going to store H2O. Okay, so this is the central vacuole. Right. I was telling my students today it hadn't rained in about 3 weeks. It rained this weekend, so we drink water every day. Think about when's the last time you drank water. I mean, I'm drinking water right now. Thirsty all the time. Constantly exposing my cells to water. There's always water for them to absorb. There's no reason to store any water. With plants, like around here, unless somebody has gone about their way to personally water them, they haven't had anything to drink in 3 weeks. So they need a large storage vacuole in the middle to hold this water to help them get through the hard times. The cell wall also helps them from drying out as well. As far as what do animal cells have that plant cells don't, not much, right? They got lysosomes, right? That's what this thing is here, lysosome, and they have it says centrioles here. Centrioles are in a centrosome. The centrosome is like basically the vacuole that holds the centrioles, I guess you could say. We'll talk more about centrioles when we get into mitosis and all that. These little spindle fiber things here, located near the nucleus. Is one thing animals have. and the lysosome is the other one. What lysosomes do is they kind of monitor the cell, right? Looking for things that do not belong. So if something was able to squeeze by the plasma membrane that ain't supposed to be there, lysosome's going to get it, break it down into those monomers, right? That it can break it down into those pieces, and then the cell could use those pieces to build other things. Plant cells don't really need lysosomes because they have a cell wall. So it's a lot more difficult for things to get inside of plant cells that are not supposed to be there versus getting inside an animal cell, which is a little bit easier to do, right? So I think they used to call the lysosome like the garbage compactor or something like that. It's going to break down all the garbage, unnecessary things in the cells. Lysosomes do. And then our centrioles, which are in our centrosome, is going to be used in cell reproduction. We'll talk about that later. So plants have three things animals don't have. Chloroplast, cell walls, large central vacuole. Animals have two things that plants don't have, which is lysosome and centrosomes. And then centrosomes hold the centrioles if you want to go that far. That's it. Plants versus animals. Next video coming up is going to be eukaryotes versus prokaryotes. See y'all.